can't even see. I'm gonna do the best that I can though. I mean, tubers, I don't know what, it's something. Okay, let me switch my talkers over just a little bit. I don't know. For some reason, my tubers, I don't know. I don't know, but welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, tubers, I don't know. Oh, maybe if I move you all back some, but then I'm really not going to be able to see. If I move you back some, but I just feel like it's just so close. I feel like it's just so close. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. And I did not bring my specs. I should probably go get them so that I can see. I can see good on the tube. It's just the top. It's a little faded. Is it Lucia? Lucia? I think that's the name. And Nami or Mami. Yeah, these, for some reason, my talkers, it's looking a little faded. Tubers, I can see. I can see you all. But hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Let me shift you over just a little bit. This may be the key. Let me get you all both on an angle. And then it won't look like you're so far away. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. Is that Miss Cleo? Hi, Miss Cleo. Welcome in. Let me know if this volume is good for you all. But welcome in to the Self-Care Suite, where we come here on Sunday afternoons, kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. Yeah, is that Lisa Richardson? So I can see you all's names like really, really light, but welcome in, welcome in. Tubers, you all okay. I can see clearly on the tube, but talkers, it looks really, really light. But welcome in. I am Coach Robin Renee. Typically, I'm your mindful movement guide through your Pilates journey, but in this space, I am your hostess in the Self-Care Suite. And this is where we come on Sunday afternoons, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We exchange useful, sustainable, low cost or no cost self-care strategies, because our financial challenges should not stop us from investing in our wellness account every day or doing some form of self-care every day. That's Landon. Is that Panini? Hey, welcome, welcome. Mrs. Yeah, my talkers, I'm sorry. It's like really light. Is that Tim? I think the name is Tim. But hey, welcome in, talkers. Is this Sade? Welcome in, welcome in. But we just checking in to see what happened last week, what had happened, what happened with your self-care last week. Did you do anything new? Did you stick with something that you started the week before or the month before? Did you make a new resolution? Did you introduce any new foods, healthier options of your favorite foods? What did you do? Did you get some sleep? Did you get some more sleep? That's where I am on my self-care journey, is incorporating in more rest. So whether it's like actual hours of sleep, that's good. But if not, I want to make sure that it's intentional rest. Hey, C. Gregory, how are you? It's intentional rest, and I want to just extend the amount of hours that I get rest. Again, it may not be like all hours of sleep, but resting is just as important as sleep. So even if you are doing like naps, we talked about naps. Some people do naps for self-care. I hope you all can hear me because the wind is blowing. So I'm hoping if you can let me know if you can hear me clearly. The wind is blowing. Is that miracle? Oh, it's a reflection on my letters. That's what it is, why it's so light. But you all know your letters actually look light. I see, is it Doorman? Cando? I'm not sure. Hey DX, hi, how are you? Yeah, I can see it's bold lettering on my tube, but just not on my top. But anyway, chime in, let me know. Is that Deneen? Donovan. Hey Donovan, let me know where you are on the globe, what side of the globe you are tuning in from, and what's up, what's on the menu for today. If you know, is today one of your big self-care days? Because remember, every day should be a day for self-care. So did you do something extra special today? Because some people like self-care Sundays, self-care Saturdays. What did you do? What did you do? Or are you doing it now? I mean, are you chilling now? Remember, this is a self-care suite. This is something that, hey, Jeanette, how are you? This is something that I agreed to do the beginning of the year, because Sunday is my off day. Like, that's the day I'm turning off all of the switches. But then I figured, okay, I will bring my community in, both communities. I had a third community, but I don't know. It was like glitches over there. So, I mean, but my two communities, so my talkers and my tubers, I decided to bring you all in, you know, just to a day, to a space, and to a time that if you have not set aside that time, you will get in the habit of knowing that, okay, it's time for self-care. You know, okay, it's time for the self-care suite. In this instance, it's time for the self-care suite. So I'm going to make sure I set aside, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I appreciate whatever time you spend in here with us. But whatever amount of time you decide that you're going to set aside, at least you would know Sunday afternoons, I got somebody there. I got somebody there that I can check in with so that I can get into the habit of practicing some form of sustainable. And sustainable is really important. Hey, talkers, sustainability. Okay, goodbye, DX. Sustainability is important, and the reason why sustainability is important is because once you start something, if you stop it, then how effective is it for you? We want it to be, and that's why we want to exchange those low cost or no cost self-care strategies so that you can incorporate them into, if you call it your self-care toolbox, your self-care arsenal, your self-care treasure chest, your self-care backpack, you know, tote bag, whatever it is, whatever you identify your self-care space or your self-care strategies that you use, we want to help you to increase that. Now, I teach every day. So I don't want to come here in a teaching capacity. I can share some things, but it's not, this space was not intended. I'll tell you the intention. The space was not intended for me to come in and just say, do this for self-care, do that for self-care, do this. No, we're going to come in and exchange because other people have ideas that they want to exchange or strategies they want to exchange, and you can interact in the chat. So if you just put it in there and somebody else say, oh, that sounds really good, like that sounds like something that I want to try, then that's what we want. That's what this space was intended for. The space was intended for all of us to be able to come here and exchange ideas. Again, not for me to come in. I teach all during the week. So I'm not coming in a teaching capacity to just throw things out. Do I share some of my self-care strategies? I do. I actually do share them. But the goal is for us, me and you, to exchange those ideas or to exchange them among the community. And this is that Miranda? I think it's Miranda. But welcome in. Welcome in. But check in. Let me know from what side of the globe. What side of the globe? I am in America. So let me blink. North America. Yeah. Let me blink twice. Let me blink twice. Y'all come help us. Y'all come help us. But I'm in North America. A little more specific. I am in the Midwest. A little more specific. I am in Illinois. In Illinois. So we're in the Midwest, and I don't know. Oh, can you all see the leaves? Yeah, you see the leaves? Y'all see them leaves? Already. The leaves are falling already. So we just got summer 2 days ago. We just got summer. We were cold for like 8 months. From like May of, this is 25. Right. No, October of 25 to May of this year. We were cold. So we just really got some warm weather right at the beginning of June or maybe mid-June. Here we are. August is about to be over, and look, the leaves are falling and they are brown. Some are yellow, but the leaves are falling down. So all of the time that we've been spending outside, I hope you've been enjoying it. If you're in a place where you have warm temps year round, bless you, bless you, bless you. If you're in a space where you don't have warm temps year round, I hope you've been out and you've been taking advantage of this warm weather that we've been having. We've been having some tropical temps around here, around these parts. So around the Chicagoland area, we've been having some tropical temps, and we've been outside. We've been outside. Oh, is there a way that I can post something? I don't want to start pushing buttons. Wait, I'm going to push it. Is that K-Roll? Hey, welcome in, K-Roll. Wait. Okay. No. I think it should be some kind of way where I can write something on the screen with these enhancements. I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. I'll figure it out at another time. But we do have a free class. If you are in the Chicagoland area, we got a free Pilates class coming up next Saturday on the beach. We're going to be on the beach. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, yeah, we're welcoming you down. So it's the end of the summer fitness series, free fitness series for the South Shore Social Beach Club. You got to slow down and say that. So it's the end of they have a free summer fitness series from Memorial Day to Labor Day. When you come out, the classes are free. When you're done with your class, with the exercise classes, they have a cafe and you can go and enjoy yourself. Get you some good eats and get you some smoothies and libations. I'm just saying, it's the beach cafe, so they got the goodies for you. So this is Obsessed Candy Girl. Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? So if you are in the area, if you're in the Chicagoland area, again, you come down next Saturday to the South Shore Social Beach Club. It's behind the South Shore Cultural Center. 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., we're doing Pilates on the beach. So that'll be the season closer. So I'm the season opener and the season closer. So I was the first class in May. So it was the last Saturday in May, right before Memorial Day. So I opened the season and I'm the season closer. I'm the closer. So come out. If you haven't made it out to any of our other classes, come on out, because this will be it. This is going to be it for the South Shore Social Beach Club. But I am working with some other fitness and wellness service providers to do some pop-ups in September. So mark the 20, do you remember? I believe it's the 21st of September. Let me see, it's a Sunday. Let me see. Let me just make sure. 21st of September, yes. So what we're working on now is a location. I'm in the Midwest, right outside of Chicago. So, and the class that I'm talking about, the free class, is in the city of Chicago, at 71st Street Beach. So if you're in the area, then come on down. But the program that we're working on, or the event, so it's not really a whole program, but the event that we're working on with the other wellness service providers is to do something for the autumn equinox, or equinox, however you pronounce that. We want to do that just to get people ready to usher in the fall season. You know, because with seasons, our self-care ideally should evolve with the seasons. So as the seasons are changing, our self-care should be matching up with what our bodies need, not necessarily with what the season is doing outside, but what your bodies need. So like in the winter, do we really need to be walking around in swimsuits? I don't think so, but some people may. But you know, so like in the winter, you'll put on a heavier coat. In the summer, you'll have on, you know, lighter clothing. So that sort of thing. So just like you would prepare your body for temperatures, like actual seasons, food tends to change. You know, there are seasonal fruits and vegetables that are available in the summer that are not available in the fall. You know, sometimes those meals are a lot heartier or a little heavier, heftier, something to stick to your ribs. So when, you know, those seasons change, so we want to have an event on that day because the actual autumn equinox is Monday the 22nd, but it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we don't want to, you know, try and plan something where a lot of people may not be available. So we're looking at that Sunday before. So just kind of pencil that date in, because it's a matter of us collaborating with spaces in case we have wet weather. If it's raining on that day, we still want to be able to have an indoor space that we can take the event to. But ideally, we'll be outside. We want to be outside as long as possible. And that's September 21st. So if you want some self-care on a Sunday, if Sunday is your self-care day, and you're in the Chicagoland area, then come on out. Come on out. If Saturday is your self-care day, we got a free class coming up next Saturday on August 30th. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, come on out. 10 o'clock. In fact, don't come at 10. Let me check that back. Don't come at 10. Come about 9:45. Like 9:45 if you decide that you're gonna park on the streets. If you decided you're gonna do street parking, I would say 9:45, because you have to come inside of the cultural center and then make your way around the back in order to get to the beach where we're gonna be. So Auntie Josie. Hey, I'm trying to see the names are real light over here. So come at 9:45 if you decide. So street parking is free. So then it'll be free, really free 99, free 99. So if you decide that you're going to park on the street, I would say give it 15 minutes, about 15 minutes, so that you can park, get your things together and then walk around to come around the cultural center. If you park in the lot, 10 minutes. So you can come 10 minutes before the class starts, because we do start class on time. If we have one person there, we're going to start class on time. So we want to make sure that you're not, fumbling and rushing, trying to get over and make it to the space where the mat is, where the sand is, because you got to get your mat down and, figure what space is going to be like not bumpy or whatever for you. So not really bumpy, but just have indentations from people's feet. So yeah, so come on out for that. It's the last one now. Don't say I ain't tell you. We've been out all summer. We've been outside in the parks. We've been in the parks and on the beach all summer. But next Saturday, August 30th, for the South Shore Social Beach Club, that's the end of the season for them. And then we're going to have the autumn equinox. That's more than likely, if you're in the Chicagoland area, is going to happen in Evergreen Park. But don't hold me to that. Don't hold me all the way to it, but that's what we're looking. We're looking at Evergreen Park to have that event, and that will be five wellness professionals, and we're going to collaborate on that, and then go hang out. And we got a cafe that we like over there that we want to hang out at, and you can support that cafe. It's a small business, so if you want to eat, so we'll do the class early enough that it'll still be breakfast time for some people. So that will be September 21st. That's what we're working on. So yeah, so who do we have? This is Dr. Psychiatrist. I can't really see on the top. You all's names are really light. But my tubers, let me know. Let me know where you chiming in from. Let me know where you chiming in from and what you do. What did you do? What had happened last week? If you are new here, I am Coach Robin Renee. I am your hostess in the Self-Care Suite, and this is where we come to meet, to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We exchange useful, sustainable, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies, because financial challenges should not stop you from taking care of yourself. It should not stop you from investing in your wellness account every single day. It should be something that you can do every single day to invest in your wellness account. And that's what we come here for. So I'm not coming in a teaching capacity. Like I said before, if you went on here, I teach every day. So that's not the capacity I'm coming in. And I did decide at the beginning of the year, so I am going to see it through. I'm going to see it through to the end of the year to meet on Sundays, just to provide people a place and a space that's that has some form of continuity to it. So you may have met somebody in the chat, and you're like, okay, well, we're going to meet back here at the Self-Care Suite, say what we did over the past week, what we got planned coming up. That's what this space is for. So, because Sunday is my off day. Sunday is my off day when I'm shutting stuff down. And if I decide that I want to get on the internet, I get on the internet. But if I don't, then I don't. But I made the commitment, so I'm going to follow it through. But I can say this. For my talkers, it'll be moving from the top. That much I do know. Tubers, I don't think I'm going to pick it back up, but I'm going to have something else that we're going to do for self-care. So it may even be, y'all tell me this, you can tell me this. It may be even like a First Sunday thing, or I was also thinking about, do you all remember First Fridays? You remember First Fridays, the networking events that people, they were all over, like in the US. So if you're in the US, they were all over. You all remember, let me know if you remember First Fridays. It was like a networking event where you may go, and it could be I don't know, an ice cream social, or it could be open. I used to love the open mic or the poetry nights when they would have. So you would come in, you do your networking. It was more or less like for like business professionals, but then there was a social component attached to it as well. So let me know if you remember First Fridays. So that's what I'm thinking of. So if it's not going to be a First Sunday check-in, or my First Sunday could be uploading new episodes to my on the tube to my show on the tube. That may be a First Sunday, but I think I'm leaning towards doing something on that First Friday. Just to have a little fun. But talkers, it won't. This is August. August 24th. So I'm saying that August 24th is highly likely. Let's just say that, because I don't want to say, you never say never, but I don't want to say for certain, but it is very, very, extremely highly likely that it won't be every Sunday. Because I'm giving up, my day, and whew, I'm going to do it for a year. We'll do it for a year. I said I was going to do it at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to follow through. I'm going to follow through. But this is where we're coming, so I'm going to need y'all to say something. Say something. What you did. What are you working on? If there's something, or do you say, well, I'm going to indulge in my self-care strategies, or I'm going to utilize my self-care strategies as need, right? So only when I need it will I get into my self-care. So let me know if that's your style. If you say, no, if I don't need it right now, then I'm just not going to use it. So if that's your style, let us know if that's your style. Let me know. Oh, answer this question. What's the difference between self-care and stress management? That's a good one. What's the difference between self-care and stress management? Let me know. Do you know? Or just give me your definition. Your definition of self-care and stress management. Or what's the difference? So there's two different definitions. So it should be two definitions. One for each one. One for self-care, one for stress management. Let me know. Put it in the chat. I think on my talk, I can let y'all in. I don't think on the tube I can let you all come up, because I think I need to send out an invitation before I go live on the tube. But talkers, you can come up. So what's the answer? Stress management? And what's the answer to self-care? Or is there no difference? Maybe I'll just pose that. Is there no difference? Maybe that's the question. Is there a difference between stress management and self-care? So let me know. So we got folks joining. That is it Jado or Jada? And is that Mari? Yeah, I can't see your name. Caddy, Langston. Hey, welcome in. It's like really light. Let me know the difference. Or is there a difference? Or are they exactly the same? So stress management and self-care. Stress management, self-care. Is there a difference? Is there a difference to you? And then how are you utilizing your self-care? Do you have a set plan that you just work it until it no longer works anymore? Or is it per incident? Like, well, that worked last time, so let me try something different. Like per incident occurrence. Like no matter what it is, you have that, just have that one go-to. Like, I don't know, I grew up in a black household, like that butter knife. The butter knife was one of them, was a multi-functioning tool. When you use the butter knife for more, did people even use the butter knife for butter? I don't know. But I'm just saying, that butter knife was magic in the black households I knew about. I don't know about, I grew up in a black household. So hey, that is it Riri? Hey Riri, welcome in. So let me know, is there a difference between stress management and self-care? Or are they the same? Or do you have different approaches to stress management and self-care? Let me know. Welcome in. If you are just joining us, I am Coach Robin Renee, your hostess here in the Self-Care Suite. And this is where we meet on Sundays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, to discuss the many ways to wellness. It's also where we come in to exchange sustainable, useful, low cost or no cost self-care strategies, because our financial challenges should not stop us from investing in our wellness account. We should be doing something for our self-care every single day. What you got? What you do last week? What you got planned for next week? Do you have anything planned for the fall for your self-care? Look here. Our leaves are already falling. We just got some warm weather. And look, we just got warm weather and the leaves are already falling. So we got to start making plans for the fall. Already. Are you outside? Are you enjoying the temps? If you are outside and you're getting you some sunshine or on your body, are you protecting your skin? What you doing? Let's see here. All right. Oh, I better stop pushing stuff. I don't know what I just did over there on the tube. All right, this is Jada. Is it Jada? Hey, Bunny? Is that Bunny? Yep. Hey, Bunny. Mel. Okay, I better stop. Hi, Chris. I better stop pushing stuff.
Yep, they are falling.
I'm pushing too much stuff. Hey, Miss BW86. What's going on? What going on? What going on? What's been going on with the self-care? So is anybody going to answer the question? Is there a difference between stress management and self-care? Is there a difference? Are they exactly the same or is there a difference? And then what would be your definition? Hey girl, hey girl. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome on in to the self-care suite, to the self-care suite. Well, we're supposed to be chilling. So are you chilling so hard that you're not answering my question? What's going on? Is there a difference? I'm going to discuss, I will discuss it, but I just want to get a gauge from you all. Do you find a difference between stress management and self-care? Is there a difference between stress management and self-care? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Ooh, come on, son. Fight. Fight for it. Y'all see that sun coming out? Let me know. The sun is fighting for it. All right. Let's go. Welcome in. So you saying yes, there's a difference? So this is what I'll share. Stress management is a response, reply, or reaction to a stressful situation. So that's what, okay, so here you go. Controlling, stress management is controlling what you can. Okay. Hey, House of Flow Wellness. So that's your stress management, controlling what you can. So House of Flow Wellness, welcome in. What we're discussing now is there a difference between stress management and self-care? So Ms. BW86 said, oh, it went up. Stress management is controlling what I can. And that's an excellent strategy for stress management. Because sometimes stressors, and let me say this about stress, stress doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It is a physiological response to an outside event. That's what it is. So it could be good stress or happy stress. So you think about weddings, having a baby, like those sorts of things. Graduations, like those sorts of things. That's a good question. You think stress management is a part of self-care? Ew, okay, you making it a part of self-care. Okay, I got it. Okay, so two words. We got a talker that says she thinks stress management is a part of self-care. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree. So let's separate them and look at them as two different entities. So the stress management would be the response or the reaction or the remedy for a stressful situation. So it's pretty situational with the stress management. And it can be incidental, right? It can be one incident where you come in, like Ms. BW86 said, stress management is controlling what I can. So that's more solution based. Yes, more solution based. Whereas self-care is an actual plan. So self-care is an actual plan that's intended to be sustainable. And that's why I talk about us sharing the sustainable, useful, practical, like all those strategies is something to incorporate, just like brushing your teeth. But actually brushing your teeth is a part of self-care. But just like, getting your hair done, like that can be a part. Like I don't rule that out. Some people don't think that getting your hair done or your nails done is self-care, but I do. Like if that's not something that you typically do, or if it's something that brings you that joy, that satisfaction of knowing that, yeah, I did this for myself and it made you feel special, sure, I say incorporate it. So you said self-care is taking care of me mentally, physically, and spiritually. Exactly. But I like the way you said stress management is a part of self-care, because it is. Because it is. But let's just be mindful that, when we look at them, if we separate them, that would be the distinction between the two. Stress management is managing an incident or managing a situation, whereas self-care, which stress management could be a part of, whereas self-care is that intentional stuff that you set out to see. Okay, so like I'm sitting in the park, so say for instance, if my goal is set, there's a trash can far over there. If my goal is set over there, what steps do I need to take Or how many steps do I need to take? How consistent do I need to be in order to make it over there to my goal? So we look at it like that. That's what self-care, and this is Rabina. Is it Rabina? PhD. Hey, welcome in. So we look at self-care like that. That's something that we want to be sustainable. So that's why we're sharing the low cost, no cost, practical, sustainable self-care strategies, because that's what we want to build our arsenal around. That's what we want to build our arsenal around. What about knowing your worth? What about knowing your value when it comes to self-care? How are you protecting yourself? And what I mean by that, like, if it could be a work relationship, friendship, familyship, siblingship, whereas you have to establish some boundaries around your value. If you're the one that, that's putting more into a relationship. Again, I'm not talking about romantic. It could be, but just putting more into an interaction or an exchange with another person or with a group of people or with a job where you're investing so much more of yourself that you lose sight of your value because you're so invested in moving the bigger picture forward or the bigger situation forward. What would be either self-care or stress management in that situation? Let's just say jobs. We'll make it more general. If you're dealing, or teams, if you're on a team or whatever, and you were doing a lot of investing of yourself, and you got to the point where, for the purposes of moving the bigger, the group, moving that group forward, that you're tending to lose yourself in that process. Where do you draw that line, or how do you draw that line to say, I know my value, I know my worth, and then this is just not something that, it ain't in my ministry. It's not in my ministry. Let's keep it on the job, because that's something that can get a little tricky, because that's how you get your check. That's how you get your coins. That's how you get your coins. So then you would have to present to whoever is in charge, if it's not you. Look here. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something. Like Ricky Ricardo, I don't know how old you all are. I mean, I'm 60s born, raised in the 70s and 80s. And he said, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Like, how would you do that? How would you explain that? And that's a part of you knowing your value, you knowing your worth, but it's also a part of you teaching somebody else. You know how you teach people how to treat you? You teach people how to treat you not only in the words that you say, but also in the deeds that you do. And it can get really tricky. Ooh, let's just say church too. We're going to put church out there too, because what if it's a ministry? Like, you supposed to be doing this for the Lord. You supposed to be doing this for the Lord, because a lot of people get caught up. A lot of people get caught up and they lose themselves in ministries, trying to move the bigger mission forward. Because this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give. It's better to give than it is to receive. And a lot of people get caught up with that too. Let's do that one too. We're going to throw that one in there too. What happens when you got to say, you know what? This is it. This is it. I ain't going to be churchy no more in a minute. I'm going to have to establish some boundaries, because you will have some people, well, I'm saying it's a high probability that you could, let's just say that. I don't want to make it definitive, but that you could have people who feel that since you have been doing something for so long, like, that's your job. Because that happens too. You on this job, or you in this ministry, you're on this team, you at this community center, you in this group, you in this club, where you have been doing it for so long that people actually expect you to do it because you've been doing it. Well, what's the problem now? Why would you stop doing it? You've been doing it all this time. Like, this is your job, ma'am, sir. This is your job. You have been doing it. And you have, in the back of your mind, you done downloaded, the resentment, right? So you getting irritated, you getting annoyed, you're getting agitated, but you're still looking at the bigger picture. This is Sunny Bunny. Hey, welcome in. But you're looking at the bigger picture of, I got to move this mission forward, or I have to move this group forward, or I have to move this ministry forward, or I have to move this job forward, because you're the responsible one. How about that? When you're the responsible one in an exchange, sometimes people know you're the responsible one, and they know that if they don't do it, you're going to get agitated, you're going to get irritated, and stand up and do it. Like, just Give it to me. Just give it to me. Or people, y'all not people be playing them games. They play them games like, am I supposed to do 3? Am I supposed to do 4? So that you can say, give it to me. Give it to me. I'm going to take care of it. So that's also a part of your self-care as well as stress management. Because if you're involved in something that's now starting to stress you and it started off as something else, you have to, one, either draw those boundaries so that you can weaponize and listen, incompetence. Listen here, child. Listen here. Yes, 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 yes. So you have to draw that line to say, look, this is where I'm going to protect myself. This is where I'm going to say enough is enough. Now, some people may catch them feelings, as they say. People may be catching feelings as a result of you establishing that, but eventually you get to teach people. Like, you literally get to teach people that, yeah, I may have been doing this and I was doing it because we started at one space. I wanted to help and I wanted to move it forward, but I'm not obligated to do this, because some people will be like, well, wait a minute. What you mean you leaving, after 6 hours? When you really only supposed to be there for 1 anyway. So you supposed to be there for 1 hour. Hello. You're supposed to be there for 1 hour and you end up staying there, for 6, because that's what you do. You're the one who come, you set up for the event. You hosting the event, but you're not the real host of the event. And then you're breaking down for the event. Like, all those sorts of things can tap into us to put ourselves in a space or even in places that we end up getting unnecessarily stressed by things. And I'll have to say this, just speaking as a responsible person and speaking to responsible people, things that we didn't have to get into. You ain't have to. We did it because, for the sake of stuff not being raggedy, things being done right. Sometimes we do that. But then sometimes, and I'll share this, shout out to my first lady, Emerita, because she's retired now. But when we were in a class, in one of our women's classes, and she was just talking about how sometimes you got to let things fall apart. If you're the one that's constantly picking up the pieces, constantly putting things together, even when it's technically not your job, right? You're just saying, or you have people, like you said, House of Flow Wellness with their weaponized incompetence. Well, do you think you can help me because you have been efficient at your job? You have been efficient and you're done with your portion of the project. Let me put a pin right here. I did not like group projects. I did not like group projects. When everybody is graded the same grade, because you have people in the groups that weren't doing their job. But anyway, so back to the way she taught us, and she was just talking about how you may feel like you have to go and do something or it's going to all fall apart. She was like, no, sometimes you got to let it fall apart. You have to let it fall apart so that you can teach the other people not to lean or rely so heavily on you, because what if you just couldn't make it? And sometimes for responsible people feel like even if you're sick, like, oh, let me pull myself up out of this bed. I'm gonna come in and I'm sick anyway. By the way, don't do that. Don't do that, because the COVID's still out here. Don't do that. If you sick, you stay at home. If you sick, you stay at home. But back in the day, it was one of those where I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna make my way through and wrap up and do whatever I gotta do and then go home and get back in the bed. I'm gonna still get up. Or this is, now that we're in this more advanced technological age, we got them emails, we got those text messages that come through. Whereas when you're on vacation, I'm gonna say it, when you're on vacation, whether it's a group, whether it's a job, will send you a message. I know you're on vacation, but what? But what? That's where the period should have went. I know you're on vacation. Let me stop. But you get those messages. I know you're on vacation, but I want to know blah, 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 blah. And then go ahead and finish writing whatever the message is, whatever the, the email is, and finish sending it. And then as that responsible person, you answer it. But what has happened at that point? You have opened up the door for people to not respect your boundaries when you have decided, I'm stepping away. Matter of fact, I ain't even in the same country with you no more. I done stepped away, got on a plane, got on 2 planes, and I'm way on the other side of the globe. And you still sending me this message. There's really nothing I can do about it anyway. If I'm not there, if I'm not in that space, and you're sending me, I can't do nothing about it anyway. But when you answer it, you have opened up the door for people to say, oh, well, I don't have to respect those boundaries. I can just go right ahead with whatever it is that I started because she or he, they're going to still honor the request. They're still going to follow through. They're still going to respond to the message. That's a part of self-care, which when we're talking about this whole self-care stress management thing, that's a part of when you want to amplify that self-care portion, the part that was intentional, the part that you set aside to say, this is what I need to pour back into me, and manage or balance to bring in that stress management portion of it, to say, you know what, I'm not about to be stressed out. I'm out here around the blue waters, the water so blue. Ain't that what the Carter's song? Yeah, I'm out here on this blue water, or I'm out here, on this boat, or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm hanging in a hammock. I'm laying in the grass. Whatever it is that you're doing, that's your business. If you have set aside time, if you have planned time to set aside, to take time away, it's your time. So it doesn't matter but I only need a few minutes of your time, or you get a phone call, but I only need a few. You don't get no minutes. You get no minutes of me time. If I'm out here on my time and I am relaxing, this is a part of my self-care. And I don't want to add stress management to my self-care at this particular point, because I did what I needed to do with that. As responsible people take care of their business before they step away, right? But when you have people who are in that same environment, or part of that same team, or that same ministry, or that same job, who are not as responsible, or who are, they just don't want to do it because they know you're going to do it, will cross that line. They'll cross that line, and that's them coming into your box. It used to be a 3x3 space, like that physical, personal space. But then when we went on lockdown, it became a 6x6. Like, you stay away. You 6 feet over here, give me 6 feet, give me 6 feet. I like the 6x6, by the way. Shout out to the lockdown for that. Everything wasn't horrible that came out of there. There was some bad stuff, but everything wasn't horrible. But that whole increasing that personal space, yeah, that was a good one for me. Yes, I get that one a 10. I get that one a 10 out of 10. Increase that personal space. Okay, we got, so who's in here now? We got, is it Gidget, Manny, and Shanora? I think it's Shanora. Yep, you all's names are like really like. But welcome in to the Self-Care Suite. I am Coach Robin Renee. I am your hostess in the Self-Care Suite, and this is where we come to meet, kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We meet here on Sundays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We exchange useful, sustainable, practical, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies, because financial challenges should not prevent us from investing in our wellness account every day and taking care of ourselves every single day. There should be something that we can do every day for our self-care. And so if you just joining, share what side of the globe you're coming in from. Let us know what you did, if there was anything different or anything you added to your self-care or got rid of. Because, okay, hallelujah, you can get rid of some stuff for your self-care too. Was there anything you did over the past week? Is there something you got big plan coming up? Or if it's not big, something new, or something that you pick back up that you used to do for self-care that you're starting to implement again in the upcoming week. So we just want to check in. We'll check in and see what we got going on. I decided at the beginning of the year, if you're new here, welcome. I decided at the beginning of the year to dedicate this time on Sundays, because that just seemed to be the sweet spot, the hour on Sunday where people are, either winding down from the morning activities or getting prepped for a couple of hours in the evening. It just seemed like a sweet spot, to share some time, with my communities. So I have tubers over here and I got talkers over here. So I, made the commitment that I would do it for the year. And I'm gonna say hallelujah. I'm at August, child. I'm at August. So we come here every week because Sunday is my shutdown time. So this is a sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice I willingly did. Nobody forced me into this. Amen, amen, amen. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it because I do want to provide that space. I think it's very important for us to have some form of continuity that we know we can, that we can connect with. I'll say that we can connect with. So this will be the space. This will be the place. This will be the time that you will come to make those connections. Now you can share your self-care strategies in the chat. You want to come up on the talk, you can. On the tube, we're not able to do that because I would have need to have sent it to you prior to us coming on. But if you want to just share something, or something that's your go-to, whatever your go-to. Hello, whatever your go-to is, as far as self-care. If you got something that's real quick, like if you had to pack your snacks. I'm just saying, if you had to pack a snack bag of self-care strategies, what would be in there? Like the quick stuff, because you may not always have time to go get on somebody's boat or be on somebody's island. You may not always have time to do that, or financial resources to do that. That's why we want low cost or no cost self-care strategies. That's what we're exchanging in here. Hey Debbie, how are you? And this is Happy Mother's Day. Hey, welcome in. And SC, welcome in. So what would be in that little small pack? If you had to carry a day pack, and you couldn't carry your whole box with you, you couldn't carry your whole self-care arsenal, your whole self-care toolbox, what would be in your day pack? Any hikers out there? Any hikers? You know, you have to carry your day pack with you. If you got to put your 10 essentials in there, you got to shrink them essentials down. And you still want to have, the 10 essentials, but sometimes you're not able to take the larger portions of that. So what would go into that? Let's just say your emergency kit. Remember, you break glass here, break in case of emergency. So what would be in your emergency? I'm out in the park, so that's why I got to keep my head on the swivel. Folks out here walking around and got pets and stuff, so I got to keep my head on the swivel. So what would be in that? So what would you throw in that bag? Your little knapsack. If you had to just grab some stuff to go for your self-care. We had a lot of people that shared before about starting to incorporate naps. So incorporate naps into your adult life. As a kid, we was trying to fight them naps. I'm gonna need you to go ahead. Don't do that. We were trying to fight those naps. But now as an adult, naps be looking good. In the middle of the day, or you get like now around this time, when the sun is setting a little bit earlier and it's a little difficult. I had one of them naps last week, which is why I'm saying this. I had one of them naps where you wake up and you like, where 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening look about the same. And you don't know, you waking up like, wait a minute, because I thought I was late for something, but I was 12 hours early. I was still on the same day that I took the first nap. I thought I had slept all night. That nap was good. That's how you know you in a really, 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 really good nap. That nap was real, real good. So naps is, one thing. Some people like taking walks, being out in nature, which is very, very therapeutic. I'm a blue space person. I like green spaces too. I will go in green spaces because I understand the benefits from being out in green spaces. But if I had to choose, my first space would be a blue space. And a blue space is bodies of water, typically larger bodies of water, but you can throw some waterfalls in there and some lakes, in there. But typically blue spaces just mean being in environments where water is abundant, or water is a significant portion of the experience. So that's what blue space would be. So blue spaces, okay. All right, we got to hold tight. Is he going the other way? I'm just watching. So yeah, so blue spaces would be mine if I could do that. Green spaces, I do like being in green spaces, like in the woods. I'm a wanderer. Do we have any wanderers out there? All who wander are not lost. We don't know who said that, but it's true. Where you go and just hang out, just hang out in the woods. Beautiful spaces to be in, depending on how woody or woodsy they are. They kind of feel like a big hug from nature. Like if you have trees that are canopies over the trails, and you're walking, on the surface, like it kind of feels like you just went inside a big old blanket when you get out there. But some people may be like, girl, you tripping. I am not going in the woods with all them animals out there. And I mean, there are some animals, depending on what side of the globe you're on. You need to be mindful and find out what animals are in the area. Now, don't be out there all willy-nilly. And it could be some animals out that are not necessarily, what am I going to say? The safest if they feel threatened. That's what I'll say. Because they're not just out there jumping out of the bushes on people. They're not. And for the most part, when you think about like forest preserves, parks, national parks, those sorts of things that are open to the public, we're not talking about the wilderness, But those spaces that are open to the public, the animals that would be in there are accustomed to hearing, human sounds, to seeing humans. So they respond a little different than if you just went out there in a whole natural habitat that has not been, occupied or is rarely occupied, by humans. Then that can create a different dynamic. But for the most part, you can go and safely be in those spaces. But excuse me, I will say this: you do need to know what season, what activity is going on in the particular season that you are going into that space. Like, for example, in Rocky Mountain National Park, in Colorado, we're talking about, mating season, right? The big animals, you're talking about mating season, and they come out. Like, they come out because they looking for each other. I'm just saying, they looking for each other. And so that can create some dynamics between humans and the animals that can be one of those high stress situations, because you thinking like, oh, this big old elk is right here in front of me, and oh my God, but they ain't looking for you. They're not looking for you. They looking for the mate. They looking for the mates. They looking for the mate. If you ever heard of Girl Trek, pause, put a pin in it. Girl Trek hosts big stress fest, I'll call it that, but it's called the Stress Protest. But it's where you go to de-stress in Rocky Mountain National Park. It's usually Labor Day weekend, but when the lockdown happened, we had to kind of put that on hold. But that's usually when we're there doing mating season. So when we first started coming and they were teaching us about it, they were like, well, just don't step in the pee. Don't step in the female's pee. How do we know we stepped? I mean, we can see it if it's wet, but if it's on the ground and it has dried up, or if it's on the grass and we walk, so how do we know the animal not going to smell it on us? So that was just kind of one of those funny things. But you just want to know what's out, what's around. You have the Smoky Mountains. So we're talking about in Tennessee. But there is signs everywhere, and they talk to you about it. Like if you rent properties over there, they let you know how to be safe. And you all have probably seen them videos from people out there videotaping them bears and leaving food out, and not locking the trash cans. You got to know where you are. You got to know what season you're in when you're there, because like I said, there are different things that could be happening with the animals that are there. But for the most part, when it's a public space, the animals have some form of awareness of human beings. So I just wanted to say that. But if it's like in a local park or something, unless an animal got loose and went and hid back in the woods or something like that. But for the most part, you are pretty good if you take precautions. So I'm not going to say you just go out there and be all willy-nilly doing all kind of stuff, because like the deer like them, I'm nice until I'm not. Yeah, I'm nice until I'm not. Don't mess with them. Don't mess with the little babies. Now don't mess with the fawns. Don't mess with the babies, right? So because that's with any animal though, any species. They don't play about their children. Kids are off limits. The babies are off limits. So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. So if a part of your self-care is being out in blue spaces or being out in green spaces, or you want to start incorporating blue spaces or green spaces, be safe, protect yourself. This wind is getting real loud and it's getting cloudy. I don't know if it's supposed to rain or not. Ugh, I don't know. So who we got coming in? This is Ty Doug. Shanora, hey, welcome in. Little man, hey, welcome in. Is it about to rain? I might need to pack up, y'all. It might be about to rain. So green spaces. So if you're out in, like I said, the woods, the forest preserves, just make sure you're taking all those safety precautions. Find out, what animals are in the area, what protocol you should be taking with those animals. Now I'll say this about blue spaces. Blue spaces are your oceans, the sea, lakes, ponds, waterfalls, those sorts of things. You still have to take safety precautions for that. I'm in the Midwest, Chicago. You haven't heard about Lake Michigan. People, especially like this past summer, it happens every summer, but there was like a real big deal with Chicago Black Yacht Week, where one young lady, passed away, as a result of an accident on one of the yachts. But I'll say this about Lake Michigan. I've been raised, all my life around Lake Michigan. In fact, that's where I learned how to swim. I'll tell you about that story too. But I learned how to swim in Lake Michigan. And if you don't know about Lake Michigan geographically is a lake. But in terms of I'm gonna say personality, for lack of a better word, the personality or the characteristics of Lake Michigan is more like an ocean. So you got to be careful. There's nothing to play with. Lake Michigan is nothing to play with. And our, the Coast Guard, they're out. The Marine Patrol, they're out. They do the best that they can, but you still need to take safety precautions. Now, most Chicagoans, born and raised, or raised, like from small on up, we have a respect. We have a real big respect for Lake Michigan. We don't be playing them games. I'm just saying. We don't play them games with Lake Michigan. Like, we don't get careless in general. I'll say this. I'm not saying every single Chicagoan, but for the most part, that's just how we were raised. Because we were raised, in the area. And, we know the characteristics. Not every day, because we don't know what nature is going to do. But we know that that's a place or a space that if you go there, protect yourself. Have some form of water safety knowledge. Some people go and have absolutely no water safety knowledge. They're indulging in mind and mood altering substances while they're on the lake, and then things go left. They really do. It's unfortunate. Things go left. People lose their lives. But have a respect for it. You can always have fun. You can always have fun in a blue space, in a big blue space, but be mindful that there are some safety precautions. And then even if you're taking those safety precautions, things can still go left. So just be mindful of that. We just don't want to be willy-nilly about it. But if it's a part of incorporating that into your self-care, go right ahead. You can even just go and sit by some blue space. That will be a part of self-care. It will put your body in a different space. It'll put your mind in a different space. Just think about it. You see a commercial, or you saw somebody else's vacation footage, and they showed you all this blue water they were on, or laying on the beach or whatever. You like, dang, I should have been there. Oh, I would have loved to do that, because blue spaces are very therapeutic. So you don't necessarily have to get in the blue space. You can be around the blue space and still get some form of self-care benefits from the blue space. So again, be mindful that you have some kind of safety strategies, whether you're spending time in green spaces or spending time in blue spaces, if that's a part of your self-care ministry, because it might not be. On that note, I want to welcome in new people. Welcome in to the Self-Care Suite. This is where we meet on Sundays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm Coach Robin Renee, your hostess in the Self-Care Suite. We come here to kick up our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We exchange useful, sustainable, practical, low cost or no cost strategies, because financial challenges should not prevent us from investing in our wellness account every single day. There should be something we can do for our self-care every single day. Every day we should be able to do something for our self-care, and this is what we do when we come here. So share where you're chiming in from. Share any self-care strategies that you want people to know about that work, they can work like magic for you, or some that used to work for you that no longer work. We want to build up each other's self-care arsenal, self-care backpack, book bag, treasure chest, box, whatever it is that you name it. We want to help to build one another up. So it's not about me just coming in a teaching capacity, because I teach all week and I'm not trying to come here and teach. We're sharing. We're exchanging when we come in this space. I made the commitment at the beginning of the year that I will come on and provide a space, a time, and a day where my communities can come and know that it's going to be something going on with some self-care on Sundays at 3 o'clock. So that's how this space came about. And I'm going to stick to the commitment. And I keep saying that, and I keep repeating that, because I got to make sure that I'm sticking to what I said, I'm sticking to what I said, because Sundays are my days off. Sundays are the days when I want to unplug, or if I decided I'm going to plug in, I can go peek in somewhere. I can just go peek in somewhere if I decide to do anything on social media. But hey, welcome in. I want to invite you all into this space so that we can utilize the space for our self-care. You are discussing self-care. Now, what's going to happen, highly likely, very high probability, that it will not be on the talk come, I think they're having a party over there, because the music is going up and down. But on the talk, it's very highly likely. I don't want to say for sure, because I don't know where the Lord going to lead me with this. But it's very highly likely It won't happen on the talk anymore Sundays at 3 p.m. because I gotta reclaim my time. Now at this point with what I'm doing in terms of, the job, the business, and social media, I'm on 7 days a week. And yeah, that ain't my ministry. I left that alone almost 20 years now. Has it been almost 20 years? Let me see. Yeah, no, 10. Almost a little more than 10 years, like 2014. Yeah, little more than 10 years. Yeah, I left that alone. Doing that 7 days a week, that's not for me. 7 whole days? Yeah, I ain't doing 7 whole days of work no more. I did that. And I did it for maybe 7 or 8 years. I did it a long time. It was nearly 10 years. Because I was in one capacity for 10 years. And most of those 10 years, I was on 7 days a week. And I had to reclaim my time. So for this day, this space, and Sunday was that day that I chose to just be chilling out. So highly likely, real high, 90%, over 95%, it won't be happening Sundays at 3 p.m. on the talk. On the tube, we're going to go more into, there will be lives, but it'll be more longer form content so we can have those conversations that don't have to be so, I'm going to say like high energy that you feel like you got to be here, you got to be there. We're going to learn. We're going to do some learning. And my talkers, you more than welcome to come on over to the tube because we're shifting like subscribers, memberships, and all that. We're shifting over to the tube. So I'm concentrating on what's working, on the talk, for me. But I believe, come 2026, Lord willing, I'm here. I'll be more of a consumer and just do some fun stuff, like maybe some game night type stuff on the talk. But then on the tube is where the substance of our wellness conversations, strategies, classes is going to live on the tube. Going to live on the tube. So just so you know, if you ain't over there, because they talking about next month and all that, it just be too much. Sometimes the talk be too much with all of the threats and all that. We building a community, and that's some unnecessary stress to be under when you're trying to build a community. And when you got to go through all that, is it going to be here? Is it not going to be here? Okay, I got to do this. See, like this kind of stuff. See, I got to verify this. See, all this stuff we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about that over there on the tube. So I invite you, I welcome you to come on over to the tube and hang out. But again, I'll still be on the talk, but I'll probably be more in a consumer capacity on the talk. But I give things a time. I give them a year. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give, what I need to give and then balance it out because everything ain't for everybody. And I'm just at the space, the place, and the time in my life. I ain't trying to force nothing to happen, right? I ain't trying to fix something that ain't broken, right? If it's just not for me, then it's not for me. And it's no bad feelings, no harm, no foul. It's just that, okay, this may not be in my ministry in this capacity. So let's just mix these things up. So that's why I'm learning a little bit more about how the tube works. So I'm learning that too. But I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it. So my talkers, just, I'm saying. But I will say this. Last year we did healthy holiday eating hacks. And it was more so conversations that may have lasted, 10 minutes, 20. We had some that were 30 minutes. And we would just talk about healthier food options during the holiday season, or what I like to call it, the eating season. After you got Labor Day, and then once the candy season. October is kind of like that in between, and then once all the candy is over, when you hit November, and December, hold tight, get my sanitizer. That was a bug. Sorry, bug. Hey, you flew into me. Insecticide going on out here. Child. Oh no. Can't land right there. Okay. So what's going to happen? We're going to actually go to restaurants. So we're going to go to vegan restaurants around Chicagoland, or if I'm traveling during those times, if I'm in another state, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to see what sorts of healthier food option choices that we'll have in these restaurants. Some of them are soul food restaurants. So if you like soul food, stick around, stick around. Some of them are. Some of them are, well, we have one, the event that we're going to do on the 21st of September. If you're in the Chicagoland area, we're looking at it's a Mexican vegan restaurant. So it all depends. It all depends on where we are, what side of town we're on, but we're going to pop out and pop up in different restaurants. So that's going to be our healthy holiday eating hacks, is how to stay safe when you're in those social environments. Like what kind of things can you choose to make sure that you don't go off of your wellness plan or your wellness regimen. Now, it's not about you being so strict that you got to walk around eating twigs and leaves. That's not what it's about. It's about you feeling safe enough to be able to go into these different spaces. Because we know when we see them, at least for me, let me raise my hand. For me, when I see the sweets, now the food, you can keep all that. I mean, I'm not enticed by that. I'll eat, but I mean, you got stuff drizzled in all these sauces and breads and all. I mean, but if the bread is a cake, I'm just saying, if the bread is a cake, you'll get my attention. You'll get my attention with some sweets. So I have had to learn through the years how to create or either obtain from someone else who's creating it those sweets that I like. How can I get a healthier option of it? So that's me. I'm the sweets person. Some people like savory, some people like salty stuff. That's not me. But the sweets, child, listen. The cookies, I'm a reformed or reforming cookie monster. I'm gonna put ing because I ain't come back. I thought you was reformed and not reforming ing. If I keep the ing on, I'm working on it. But yeah, cookies are my jam. I like cakes, but I like cookies more. Some pies, not like, I don't have to have a pie first. But if pie is the only sweet that you got, I'm gonna eat the pie. Now, my daddy used to say, no matter what you eat, you always have room for dessert. I believe that. You always have, no matter what you eat. How much you've eaten, you got room for dessert. Yeah, I believe that. I'm going to live by that. So that's what we will do. So we're going to have some fun. November, so that's going to be 8 weeks, before the end of the year. So that's the plan. Now, weather will play a part in that. Also, if we have to switch up and maybe hit a breakfast spot, a breakfast vegan spot, we'll do that. We just want to get you safely through the holiday season, eating healthier options. Like, what could you do? Where could you go? What kind of dishes could you incorporate in your holiday eating plan? So the goal is that you won't gain. That's what our mission was last year. You won't gain. You're still going to be able to stick to your healthier, because it may not be the healthiest. It's just healthier than what you were eating. You'll still be able to stick with your healthier eating regimen or eating strategy. I don't want to say plan, and I'm definitely not going to say diet, because diet just means what you eat, not the calorie deficit and all that. That's not what I mean by diet. I just mean by what you consume, what you chew and swallow. But your nutrition, what nutrition plan or nutrition regimen or nutrition series that you're incorporating throughout the holidays, because that's one of the things in self-care that could change with the seasons. Because you could be doing real good, but child, as soon as November 1st hit, everything just fall apart. And then you scraping, trying to get in that New Year's Eve outfit. You trying to stuff to get in the New Year's Eve outfit because you just spent 7 weeks just doing whatever. People, they have holiday parties. They have, but some people have winter celebrations, like birthday celebrations, all those sorts of things. If you work in an office, some people who still going into offices, people be bringing in all these treats, and they have cookie exchanges and all this kind of stuff that's really tempting. So that's why we're going to actually go to the restaurants. So that's our plan. We're going to go to the restaurants. We have to map out how many we're going to do. Hopefully it won't be the same. Now, if we repeat a restaurant, we may switch the time, so that you can see what's on the breakfast menu as opposed to what's on the brunch or the dinner menu. How you doing? That'll be the switch. So if we pick the same restaurant more than once, it'll probably be at a different time, so you can see the different options. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's going to be our healthy holiday eating hacks, and it's coming up from November to the end of the year, and then that'll be our celebration, and then we'll wrap it up. 95% or more on the talk is going to wrap up, because I got to get my Sundays back. It's going to be a year. I'm going to give up a year. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I've dedicated this time and this space, for over the past year to make sure that people have some form of continuity when it comes to something. Somebody, somewhere talking about some self-care. I got you. I got you on that at least over these next, what we got, 12 weeks? No, we got a little bit more. 14? How many weeks we got left in the year? I got you. I got you on that. So I'm going to do my part. You do your part. And if you're just joining, welcome. We're about to land this plane. Welcome in. I am Coach Robin Renee, your hostess in the Self-Care Suite. This is where we meet to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness. We also share sustainable, practical, useful self-care strategies, because financial challenges should not prevent us from investing in our wellness account every single day. There should be something we can do for our self-care every single day. So on that note, y'all, I'm going to wind this down. This is Angelica. Hey, welcome in, y'all. All right, so I'm going to wind this party down. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Self-Care Suite for this Sunday. And I'm up out of here, y'all. You know what? The talk be playing. When they hear you say you leaving, they start sending people in. But y'all welcome in. I got to find the out button. How do I get out of here? Child. All right, tubers, let me let y'all go. Peace. Tacos, I got to let y'all go. The button is